Hi, I'm Ben Thompson, licensed marriage and family therapist in the state of Oklahoma, and this video is about EMDR. Now, EMDR stands for Eye Movement Desensitization and Reprocessing, which is why we just use the initials EMDR. That's a bit long, but if you just think about it, it's using eye movements to help you desensitize past memories and things that are affecting you and helping you reprocess those in another way. But let's just keep saying EMDR because that's a lot easier. Really what we're trying to do is help you make your past so it stops getting in the way in the present. Does that make sense? We want the past to stop having such a hold on you so you can live better in the present. So we have trauma. These traumas, these disturbing events, these things that happen, what they do is those sensations and the feelings and all that get trapped in our nervous system and trapped in time. And if they're not processed through to completion, then you get stuck. It's kind of like why sometimes even as an adult, you can feel like a child again. You feel like you're stuck back in that same situation. EMDR is trying to open that up so you can work through those things in the past so you can have different feelings and respond differently in the present. Now, I'm just going to use the example of a dog bite. If you got bit by a dog when you were younger, that's probably a pretty dramatic and traumatic experience for you. And I bet if you think about it, you can really remember how that felt, the fear that went through your body, all those sensations that happened. And chances are if that happened, you're still a little bit scared around dogs. You feel that uneasy feeling, it comes up again. So in EMDR, what we're doing is we're going to help you go back to that memory, back to that situation. And while we keep you in the present, we're also going to put that foot in the past. So a foot in the present, a foot in the past, and then you're going to work through that memory. And your brain is going to do what it wants to do, which is to help you heal, which is going to help you find better ways to deal with this situation. And by doing that, you'll be able to move through it. And so you can have a healthier relationship with dogs. You can stop having that same kind of fear. And what you do during that time is you go with the memory, and the therapist will have you move your eyes back and forth. It's not hypnosis or anything like that. It's just helping you move your eyes. And what we think that's doing is kind of mimicking that process that happens when you're dreaming or in REM sleep, which stands for rapid eye movement sleep. And if you've ever watched anybody while they're sleeping, you've probably seen that. Now, it may sound a little creepy to watch somebody while they sleep, but you may have seen that happening. So we're trying to mimic this process while you're awake. And lo and behold, it seems to help a lot of people. It really does. And also, for people that aren't comfortable doing the eye thing, and that's a little bit weird, some people have what we call tappers, and you can hold one in each hand and it'll buzz back and forth, back and forth. It seems like that stimulation, that what we call bilateral stimulation, back and forth, helps us consolidate this information, helps us reprocess this information in a more adaptive way. So you just go with whatever comes up as you go through these memories. That's all you have to do. One thing we talk about is like being on a train and just watching the landscape go by as it goes by. And that's what you do in this process. You just let your therapist know what's going on. It really is a simple process in that way. And again, we're just letting the brain do the work that the brain wants to do, because your brain does want you to help you through this and find a better way. So who knows, you may find out at the end that really that dog that bit you, it really bit you because it was feeling really unsafe and you were too close to it. Or you may realize that was just a bad dog, right, that bites people, and that dog needed help or you needed to stay away. So maybe the dog had a biting problem, but your brain might help you figure this out, because ultimately what you need to learn is not all dogs are that dog. And so you can move on, you can be more comfortable around dogs. You'll still know which ones to avoid, right? But you'll be more comfortable and you'll have a better response to those situations. And when that healing occurs, and as that healing occurs, you're able to leave that situation in the past, that memory in the past, with everything that you need from it, but then you can move forward without the extreme reactions or the strong reactions that you have to that. Now, I know that's a dog bite, I'm just using that as an example. But PTSD, war trauma, combat veterans, sexual abuse trauma, so many of these things respond well to this. And in fact, it's one of the leading approaches now for PTSD and for trauma. And of course, we're finding a lot of other ways in depression and anxiety, OCD and things like that, where there's a lot of great applications for this. So this is a frontline treatment, and it's recommended by the top organizations. And if you went to a VA or Veterans Center, they're going to want to use this as a frontline approach for many veterans and for PTSD. So it's been around for a while. It occurred about 30 years ago. The founder, Francine Shapiro, just had an experience where she noticed as she processed through some difficult stuff, her eyes moved back and forth, and it seemed to help. And it started from there. And there's been 20, 30 years research, really good research now on the effectiveness of this. Well, I hope this helps. I hope this helps to kind of give you an introduction to this. Maybe a therapist has recommended this to you. Maybe I recommended it to you. Maybe your doctor said something about it and you thought, well, that's a little strange. I just want to demystify this some for you, encourage you to reach out and get some help. Maybe you've done some other therapy that hasn't helped, and here's a chance to try something different. I've had clients that have had a lot of other kinds of therapy, and this just seems to make that difference. Not all therapy has to be really long in duration, and you have to say every little thing that comes up. This is a way to really efficiently deal with this, and you don't have to pour everything out, and you don't have to talk about everything that ever happened to you. But this is a way to deal with this in a very effective way from the inside out, and really helping your nervous system and your brain encounter these things in a different way. All right, I don't want to keep talking over and over and keep going, but I just want you to reach out if there's something you feel like could help you. I'm excited to tell people about this because it works, And I hope this will be something that you'll consider that could work for you too. Thanks a lot.